Good morning, everyone. Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Hope your day is going. Hope your morning's going really good this morning. I hope you are having a safe morning out there with the rain that's going on out there right now. We've got a lot to talk about. We've got cold air mass. We've got severe weather to talk about. Also, we've got a hurricane heading into Florida, possibly. Maybe we'll see what happens with the upper level system that's come in with it, but let's get started with this. Why is my mouse so laggy? Um, so first we're going to start out with the European model, the 0Z European model, and then we're going to look at all the models with this cold blast coming in, and then we'll look at other models. So let's get started here. So those tabs out. So first I want to start out with let's go over your dew points here. Let's go to your dew points, and it's a countrywide view of the dew points here. And so you can see here we've got pretty solid good degree dew points. Do have a cold front that is moving through right now. But let's go ahead and go all the way out to the 18th time frame. This is a Monday. It's Monday morning sometime. So this is Monday morning around 3Z. 03Z. So we've got 61 degree dew points all the way up into Oklahoma, which could start a severe weather event somehow across Oklahoma, Kansas, Texas, and the southern plains. But it's as we head toward the 19th through the 25th, is where we're starting to see that cold front, that cold blast really start to move in. We have a dry line set up here, cold front, mini slash dry line, mini slash cold front moving through. You see that low pressure right here. Let me circle this for you. So here's that dry line right here, and here's that low pressure that is going to be starting to form here. So put a big L here. So here's your cold front here, dry line, and your low pressure right here. That low pressure will start to push up to the north and east, as you can see there. As you see that low pressure really pushing to the east, pushing some dry air into the state of Arkansas, as well as Missouri, Iowa, and then you can see the dry air filling in behind it, which is the colder air filling behind it. Now, if you're in Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, Wisconsin, Illinois, Missouri, Arkansas, you will start at rain first. I'll show you all the temperatures here in a minute, and then precipitation type. You see some moisture really starting to increase over into the Ohio Valley, into the mid-Mississippi Valley. You can see some of the dew points really start to rise across Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, and Illinois, extreme eastern, southeastern Illinois into southern Indiana. And then you can really see what the European model does. It wants to put that cold front right here. That cold front really start to push in its way through now, as you can see on that. And then you can see really that cold front really wants to make it known. So you can see dew points around Little Rock 33, dew points 28, according to this one model. It's about Thursday the 21st, and then as we go out farther into the 22nd, you can see those dew points really start to crash. Those dew points was just indicating that colder air. Folks, this colder air goes all the way down to the Gulf Coast. That's where that cold front. This is a big pattern change cold front, where I think some areas might get some snow here in the southern U.S., which is a very, very realm of possibility here. So you can see the resurgence of cold air coming in on that 24th time frame, and then as we go out forward here, we start to see some dew points, really the moisture trying to make its way back into the state of Texas and maybe even Arkansas as the system goes along. So let's go ahead and look at your temperature maps here. Let's go ahead and look at your temperature maps here, and go back to my drawing here. So yeah, as you can see here on the temperature maps, we'll go far out here to see the 18th. You can see where that low pressure is. You can see where we have some colder temperatures here across uh, the Rockies and then Nebraska, South Dakota, and Kansas. See warmer temperatures down in the south in the eastern half of the United States. As you see here, sorry if my mouse is so laggy, but as you can see here, you can see that cold front really start to build. Colder air, cold air building off to the north here. Um, Warmer air, I'll say from the north central plains. This is the area that's going to be seeing that warmer air at first before that colder air resurgence ends. So we go back, as we go forward here, you go forward to the 21st. This is the morning of the 21st. You can see 20 below freezing temperatures all the way down to Garden City, Kansas. 38 degrees across Oklahoma City, 47 in Fort Smith, 50 there in Little Rock. And then you can see that colder air really start to push in northwest Arkansas, the mountains of Arkansas, 34 Route 12Z. That's about midday on Thursday on the 21st. You can see much colder temperatures across the area. Western half of the United States seeing below freezing temperatures. Some cold temperatures really start to go on the increase across Arkansas and the southern plains. And then you can see here as we go out forward to the 22nd, more colder air starts to fill in, and then this is one of the European model runs. You can see we go below freezing on the 24th, which is a Sunday, around that morning time frame. I can't rule out some single digits across North Dakota, South Dakota, and Nebraska, and North Dakota, the Dakotas, and Nebraska. Can't rule out a single digit temperature there, and then it really gets cold right after that. And then don't be surprised if we have highs in the 30s and 40s across, maybe even some 50s across southern Arkansas. We'll zoom into its region view here in a minute. Wind chill temperatures. The wind chills are going to be the key factor to this, and then we'll look at precipitation type here in a minute. So we go far out here. Let's go up to the 18th time frame. You can really see the change in cold and temperature. You see that cold front which is draped right here. There's your warm air to the south here. And then you can see here, as that cold front really starts to push, you can see that cold front really start to pushing in, giving a force in the left to cause some sort of severe weather here in this mid-Mississippi Valley and Ohio Valley, probably on Wednesday the 20th, before that cold front arrives. So this is wind chill temperatures. You can see, man, I'm telling you all, parts of the mountains of the Rockies could see -degree wind chills. So sub-zero temperatures, wind chills across portions of Wyoming, Idaho, Montana, Colorado will absolutely get hit with sub-zero temperatures. Don't be surprised if some of the Dakotas and Nebraska see some sub-zero temperature wind chills as well. And then you see on the 21st, which is a Thursday, that morning, a little slower southern South Dakota and northern north central Nebraska could see a sub-zero degree wind chill. And then as we head forward, the European model, it's not as bullish as the GFS model, but we'll look at the GFS here in a minute. But you can see here, y'all, the 25th, which is Monday, which is not next week, but the week after that, you can see that the freezing line of the wind chills go all the way down in north central Florida. Folks, that could be really cold. This would be an early cold blast. Could break some records across Florida and the southern Gulf Coast as well. Don't be shocked if it does that. And then it continues to get colder as we are looking at the long range guidance. We have another potential pattern change coming back, which a resurgence of this next one could be colder than this one. We'll see what happens. Now let's go to the precipitation type. Let's go to precipitation type on the European model. Let's jump to the 17th time frame here. So you can see your atmospheric river. See a low pressure here, bringing some rainfall across the upper Michigan Peninsula here on the 17th, which is Sunday. Here's your system. Here's one of the atmospheric rivers coming into the Pacific Northwest. Here's that system we're going to keep an eye out on. That's going to be shooting off to the north and east. You have a low here. You have a low here in Canada, and then you have a 1,006 millibar low down here in Mexico. So as we go in here, you can see some mountain snow across Idaho, Montana, Washington, Oregon, bringing some mountain snow to the Cascades of Oregon and Washington, the Rockies of Idaho and Montana. Some snow when the low starts to develop across New Mexico, and then the rain part of the system, the warmer air side of the system, starting to produce some rain across Oklahoma and southern Texas. And then as we go forward, you can see what I'm talking about. The severe weather event could start the kickstart on the 18th. The 18th could be a severe weather event across, say, from this area here. That's where I think the most active severe weather event could happen across the area in the southern plains and south central plains in the mid-Mississippi Valley. That is the first day of that severe weather, is where I think that severe weather could happen. This could be a day and night event, as y'all see. And then you can see that the low pressure really starts to strengthen across portions of Kansas here in the southern plains and the Great Plains here, bringing some heavy rainfall across Texas and Oklahoma up into eastern Nebraska, heading into western Iowa. Now, as you head the European model, let's go back. So the European model wants to bring some of that heavy rain. Could we have instability? Right now, I'm looking at the European model. We have a little bit, but not as much to concern like, oh, it's going to be a moderate risk day. It's not going to be a moderate risk day. It's just going to bring some severe weather, and then it's gone. But you can see here, rainfall on the east side of the system, because that's where that low is, surrounding with the warmer air. And here is that colder air really starting to filling in across North Dakota, eastern the Dakotas, and eastern Montana and Wyoming. Then that colder area, you can see where the tight isobars here, those are telling you the winds. The winds are going to be very strong as they head, as that colder air moves through. You can see major snowfall could be falling across Canada, Dakotas, Nebraska, maybe some icing situation going across in Minnesota there. We'll see what happens. And then also, as we go forward, we could see some as the storm wraps around. You can see as the storm wraps around, we could see some snow all the way further south to Oklahoma once this colder air really starts to kick in and really starts to fill in. You can see some snowfall across southern Missouri, northern Arkansas, Oklahoma, and maybe even the Panhandle of Texas. We could see some snowfall falling across that area there. And then that colder air really starts to fill in across that area there. And that's just there. That goes beyond the 28th, which is on Thanksgiving. We'll see what happens there as well. So let's go to the Canadian model, the 0Z Canadian model. Let's look at the dew points here on the Canadian model. It's going to be a little bit of a longer live stream here. So Canadian model, let's go out to the 17th. Again, sorry about that. So you can see what the Canadian model wants to do. It's a little bullish on the dew points across portions of Oklahoma. It wants that dew points from the 17th further south. They had the European model had 60-degree dew points in southern Kansas and northern central Oklahoma. But then as you look on the 18th, now you can see where the severe weather for the Canadian model wants to put it, right up in this area here. So Louisiana, Mississippi, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texas. There's your driver cold front. That's going to be the pattern change coming in. And then as we head toward the 19th time frame, this area will start to see some of that severe weather really start to kick in as the low really starts to wrap around and that cold front really starts to move its way in. We'll continue to watch that. And then you see that colder air. It looks like what the Canadian model wants to do. It wants to shove that cold front back because of the moisture is so is so far moist that it kicks that front back a little bit and delays it a little bit. But then by the 21st, I think I expect that cold front to really start to push in and then really start to kick in. You see 19-degree dew points, really fall air coming in. That's what I'm saying. And then that area there. So let's go to temperatures here. Let's go to our temperatures and let's take a look at what it wants to do on that day. So here's the 18 time frame. You can see temperatures below freezing on 60, which is in the middle of the day. You can see the change in atmosphere and the change in climate. So we've got freezing temperatures to the north and warmer air to the south. So severe weather here, colder air, and maybe some snow wrapping around on the north side. We'll see what happens as that moves through. And then this is the 20th. 20th is going to be the 20th through the 28th is going to be the coldest time period. So as you can see here on the 21st, you can really start to see 41 in Little Rock, 37 in Fort Smith, 28 in OKC, 28 in Springfield, Missouri, 20 in Des Moines, 17 in Duluth and Minneapolis. So I mean, you could really start to see that big fall air start to push in. The highs not even get out of the 40s or 30s that day, during that week or so. So here's the forecasted wind chills. Go forward here. So this is the 18th here. You can see 69-degree wind chill here. You can see the mountains, the Rockies of the western United States there. And then you can see those sub-zero temperatures agreeing with the European model of sub-zero temperatures across the Rockies there. The Canadian model on the 20th is a lot bullish on those wind chills across Minnesota, Dakotas, and Nebraska, surging in with that colder air. There's some sub-zero temperatures and teens wind chills across western Oklahoma, and the panhandle of Oklahoma and Texas down there. And then what the Canadian model wants to do on the 21st, it puts single-digit temperatures and teens across this area here. So northwest Arkansas could see some single-digit degree wind chills on the 21st. We'll see what happens. And then you can see isolated areas on the 22nd could see those single-digit and teens wind chills. So this is going to be very cold air. I expect some hard freeze watches and warnings to come out, maybe some winter storm warnings and watches to come out probably by next week sometime. This is the 18th. You can see heavy rainfall across the South Central and Southern Plains in the Mississippi Valley. And then you can see there's that first low that moves through according to the Canadian model. And here's that second low that wants to form, and then what it wants to do on that second low, it wants to wrap some snow around in central and western Oklahoma and eastern Panhandle of Texas. That I can't rule that out though. That's on the realm of possibilities there, y'all. We could see some snow across northwest Arkansas and western Missouri, and then we'll see what happens beyond that. So what I gotta say is we've got a big pattern change coming in 0Z. This is the 0Z GFS model. You can see here we jump to the 20th here. This is wind chills here, y'all. So you can see the GFS model is a little bullish on that. So you can see what the dew points, not dew points, what the wind chills are like across Minnesota and the Dakotas. You can see single-digit temperature wind chills here, teens across Iowa, as that front approaches the southern plains here. I don't know where that's moving. As the front approaches, you can see that cold air surging south and interfering with that, with the warmer air, and then that collision of air masses. And look what beyond that 25th time frame, you can see colder air really building into the Canadian air mass, and that Canadian air mass really sticks around for a little bit. And then we could see a resurgence of colder air, like mini Arctic blasts coming into the country and creating some potential for some snow or multiple snow events across, I'll say from this area here multiple snow events across the area. So we'll see what happens on a widespread area and isolated areas there. So I just wanted to give you all a live update on the Arctic air mass and see what's ongoing and what's not ongoing. But we will see what happens. Give me 1 second. But just be prepared for hard freeze watches, hard freeze warnings to go out, and make sure that you have a way to get prepared for this as well. So thank y'all for tuning in, and I hope you'll have a really great day. Stay tuned and be safe out there, y'all. I'll have more live updates later today and tomorrow. So y'all be safe out there. Bye, y'all.